What's up, everybody? I'm headed home. This is my name is Willie Lawson, and this is a take-home edition of Fight Back 2020. And by take-home edition, for those of you who are new or just popping in here and wondering what the heck's going on, this is my drive home. I do this every now and again while I'm headed home to sort of toss my thoughts out there as to the events of the day. And that's what this is. So there you go. I spent some more time today at work in the mask at my first job, in a place where I was, at most of the time, I was in a room with one other person, so I didn't wear it there. But when I was walking through, I had my mask on. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about masks for a second. What I want some people to understand is that I understand the position of people like Senator Rick Scott. I saw him on Newsmax yesterday, and he said that he is pro-mask, he believes in masks, but what he doesn't believe in is mandates. Give people the information they need, and then let them do what they do. This idea, this continuous idea that we need to follow blindly at the advice of an expert or a few experts is anathema to the American spirit. And I know that a lot of you are like, but we're trying to save lives. I know. Yeah, okay. And especially you people in Florida. You guys don't care. A bunch of rubes in Florida. Crazy people. Well, that's not untrue entirely, but it's an exaggeration in this particular case. I've been promising this video, and I'm going to not try to upload it while I'm in the car. I'm sure you all appreciate that, right? Especially the people around me. They added lights to this intersection here, this entrance to the interstate on Highway 60, and I am very happy about it. I am not hating it. But in any case, I really want to. The video is coming out when I get home, and it's basically it's a comparison of New York and Florida, and it's a report on how my county, Hillsborough, has done the past 5 days. Now, in 5 days, I'll do another one on the progress. I'll compare our progress with a county of similar size in New York. And the number that I'm looking at is death rate. If the moniker, if the call to action is we have stay home, save lives, wear masks, save lives, then you've got to consider what the death rate is. If that's what you tell me you're concerned about. So we're going to look at that. You're going to see some stats. I get my statistics from Johns Hopkins University website. So no, it's not some conspiratorialist website. It's not WorldNet Daily or something like that. It's from Johns Hopkins, which I guess we're just going to have to agree on is as good as it gets when we're talking about this kind of stuff. Worldometers, and there's some others that are out there. So we're going to go ahead and go with these numbers. That way we can have a sort of baseline to work from. And what some of you in other places are going to be surprised by is what the death rate is in Florida. Yes, this is called a tease. What the death rate is in Florida. Some of you are going to be surprised. Some of you are going to be shocked by it. Well, they're having church at the river tonight. It's Wednesday. Good for them. Having church outside at the river. That's awesome. Sorry, I just passed by there. You're going to be shocked. You're going to be surprised. But it's all true. And it's meant not to be any medical advice for you. God forbid that I would give you any medical advice. I'm not going, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you to wear a mask. I'm not going to tell you not to wear a mask. I'm not going to tell you to do anything. I'm just going to do something that the government should be doing. It should be providing you with consistent, true information and letting you do what you think is the smart thing to do. And that's exactly what's not happening. If you listen to the morning report this morning, and if you haven't, shame on you, you should. I played a clip from the Senate meeting on health, labor, and I don't know, some Senate committee that Rand Paul sits on, and he has some pretty pointed words for Dr. Fauci. Basically, regarding the opening of schools and the like, and the lack of positive messages coming from the government medical experts, and the idea that this person, an individual, or even a small group of people, can make decisions for an entire country of 330 million plus people, with pretty much ignoring all of the micro transactions of those millions of people. This sort of one-size-fit-all sort of thing. And if they're wrong, then the damage caused could be irreparable. You want to check that out. The Morning Report here on Spreaker and on Spotify and on iHeart.com. You might want to check that out. And it's interesting because he actually gets Fauci to agree with him about schools. That kids need to be back in school. Now, I know some people who are not going to send their kids back into the buildings. And there's some teachers who are now afraid to go back into the building because this is the narrative. The narrative now is that if you get COVID-19, you are going to die. And frankly, that's not the truth. But if you listen to the news reports, if you listen to the breathless reporting about cases going up here in the state of Florida, especially, and some other places, interesting. Only red states are having more cases. Interesting. But what you see is this breathless reporting about cases going up and how that's so terrible, when frankly it might not be. Now, to the people who have problems, yes, it's a problem. People who are vulnerable, older people, people with underlying conditions, it may indeed be a huge problem to them. But to the general public, maybe it's not a problem. Maybe the more people who contract the virus and fight it off, even if they have to do it 2 or 3 times, the human will build up an immunity to it. Because humans do that. A human will build up immunity to it. This is where you get herd immunity. We had herd immunity to things before vaccines. Believe it or not, Not everybody got the bubonic plague. I think the thought is that everybody who came in contact with the Black Plague, the bubonic plague, got the plague and died. Well, that's not true. A lot of people lived. Now, it was devastating, no doubt. From a death standpoint, much more devastating than COVID-19, coronavirus, Hong Kong flu. But a lot of people survived. And they survived without vaccines. There was no vaccine at the time. Nobody was getting shots. No one was getting any government-mandated shots. But people lived. How is that possible? Because some people had a natural immunity and others built a natural immunity. As a matter of fact, I think I saw a special about this whole group of people from this particular area that almost none of them got the bubonic plague. Almost none of them died. And they looked for their relatives, contact traced their relatives throughout history and found out that these people had something in their DNA that helped them survive. And their relatives now are benefiting from that. And people who now have shared DNA, their children and the like, are benefiting from just that. A human is designed, the human herd is designed to build up immunities. But they have to be exposed to the thing first. And that's the scary, dangerous part. I understand that. Because some people, like everything else, some things affect people in very different ways. Something that you may be able to fight off with very, very little trouble may put me in a hospital. I understand. So don't think that I'm being cold to that fact, because I'm not being cold to that fact by any stretch of the imagination. But if you're talking about public policy and you're talking about the generalization of what we're talking about, and we've got to talk about generalizations, right? Because we're dealing with everybody in general. Well, I just saw a Heartline, a city bus that said that if you're going to ride the bus, you have to wear a mask. Here in Hillsborough County. So, I'm just a few minutes from home. When I get there, I'm going to publish this video. I will publish it on YouTube. There'll be a premiere. Everybody on Facebook will get a notification of the premiere. All my followers, all the people who are subscribed to my YouTube channel will get a notification. And we'll be able to watch it together. All right. So I see you on the morning report tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Same bad time, same bad channel. Go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.